It's your boy Game Like Will, man. What's going on with y'all, man? I'm back with another video, man. A wise man once said, if you gotta make a woman feel comfortable around you, you already lost. What do we mean by that? Because, as a dating coach, as somebody who studies dating and whatnot, every coach seem to listen to, every YouTube channel, blah, 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 they always make me feel like I should go ahead and do things to make a female feel comfortable. Or I should build comfort, right? I should build comfort. I'm not going to dispute the fact that you can build comfort. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to dispute the fact that it's impossible to make someone feel comfortable around you, because that's possible. But this video is made with the idea that if you have to make a woman feel comfortable, there's something wrong with you. In some of my past videos, I talked about aura, and that's basically what I'm getting at in this video. Man, listen, a true player is gonna always be in a vibration that naturally makes women feel comfortable. And I get it, fellas, right? You probably been in a house for the last 6 months or 5 months, or you probably been living under a rock or just going to work, going back home. You probably been jerking off before watching this video. You're not doing anything around women. You're not being active with women, because anybody who's going out on 2 dates per week, which I advise that you do. One at the bare minimum, two is perfection. 2 days per week, setting up 2 days per week like a real man. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to this channel if you're trying to get gamed up. So if you're really texting women, if you're really approaching women when you're in public, if you're really doing what I'm telling y'all to do, if you're really putting your best foot forward in what we call game, right? Then you're going to automatically, your vibrational aura is going to automatically become magnetic. It's going to automatically shift, right? Your gears should shift, right? You should never ever say to yourself, man, I got to make this bitch feel comfortable, right? I'm not saying that you can't do it if you feel like doing it. You should be able to do anything you feel like doing. But I'm just saying, true players know that when you walk in the building, you're already radiating sexuality off the bat, right? See, most young bucks, they're scared of their sexuality. Most young bucks, they're scared of being masculine because they were raised by mommy instead of dad. I was that way, right? See, a lot of people be really surprised. I be surprised at myself sometimes. I'm like, yo, you were raised by your mom and your sister, and you still a masculine motherfucker. Even though like I'm just not soft. Like, some people may beg to differ, depending on what their perspective on soft is. But what I mean by that is like, I guess it's because I don't know. I used to watch a lot of wrestling. I just wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like even the femininity of being raised by a mother sometimes can make you um sensitive, and that sensitivity could lead to you getting into fights. And I think early on I seen a couple of people, it's common in the black community for guys to be being raised by their mother. Some of the toughest people that I felt like I knew. But again, you got tough, and then you got powerful people. Tough isn't power. It's only powerful in like the hood, the streets, like being tough, where there's really a lot of like quick paced decisions and people have to make quick decisions. You could rule over those people by using fear tactics. But when it comes to like real power, it's not about quick decisions. It's about slow decisions and chess moves over a long period of maybe even years or decades sometimes. So again, I don't know how I got all the way over there. I guess I was just showing y'all the I grew up like multi, like, because I I got a female cousin. She's my favorite cousin. Like, you feel me? And but she used to play the game with us. She used to play wrestling with us. She used to play. You know what I'm saying? I had that tomboy cousin. You feel me? And then I used to play football with my other cousin, basketball games, and so I had like a mix. You feel me? But my older sister, she used to watch. Like, she's the first person to put me on to music. Like, so I learned about Jim Jones through her, Slim Shady through her, really all hip hop for real. For real. I wasn't even on that. I was video games. But then I'm just saying, me seeing the way my sister was living kind of boosted my curiosity to see certain things. And I noticed that. I'm not going to say it's bad, but I know that I see where things can turn a cert for the worse, you know, with growing up around women. And I see where my father probably would have stepped in and be like, son, it's cool that your sister's listening to that, but come listen to this or figure this out or, you know, that type shit. So it's good to look at your how you grew up, your upbringing. When you want to build your aura, your masculine, people call it a frame. You know, I use the word frame, but just building your presence because you can't make everybody like you, and that's another thing, bro. Like, so this is where I want to seed the pole in this conversation is like, or put a bookmark right here. Like, that's when you're gonna fuck up, you know, because women are possessive and controlling. So if you make a woman feel like you give a fuck, that she's uncomfortable, it could go left or right for you, and that's very important that dating coaches always tell you what could go left or right because it's a lot of things in the game that could go left or right. Right? It's a lot of things in the game that are clear that you shouldn't do and that you should do, and then there's a lot of things that could go left and right, like holding the door for a female, putting your fucking jacket on the floor so she walk over a puddle. That's that's not so clear. That's not so clear whether you should or shouldn't do it, right? Telling the female, I'm sorry, I stepped on your foot. It's not so clear. There's a lot of things in the game that are nuanced. A woman will literally cut you off and break up with you because you're being too nice. I made a video on being the bad guy yesterday. Go watch that video if you haven't. But like, your willingness to try to give a fuck about what other people think or care about is exactly why your vibration will be compromised every time. When you just simplify things as a man, it gets better. When you be like, all right, I'm just gonna text this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what she think. I'm just gonna say this shit. That's when things be like, all right, cool. Well, you're making progress. Right? The progress matters more than making her feel comfortable and all that shit. Long as you're going forward on the progress of life, all that comfort and that aura shit that we be talking about, all that shit gonna come in anyway. It's gonna be there anyway. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat right. I'm not saying you shouldn't do yoga or meditation or some shit that makes your chakras be relieved of tension and all that shit. But like, cause all of that's true too. You should have outlets of, like, you know, you should understand the way chemistry works. You know what I'm saying? Science and shit like that. Neuroscience, right? Neurology. A woman should not be able to get on your nerves. A lot of y'all got mothers who are narcissists. They walk around literally antagonizing your nervous system. But when you think about it, your self-respect is on the line when you let someone make you mad. See, dad's supposed to teach you that. Every time you let someone that's weaker than you make you mad, you're subconsciously communicating to that loser that you have power. It's the small things, fellas. You can't let a loser or a weakling think that there's something above you and they're not at all. And this is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to make, and I'm not saying a woman's a loser or weak, but you don't got to make a woman feel any fucking thing. I think a lot of the dating world, overthink or we psychoanalyze because we want to be gamed up. We want to have riz. We want to have charm. And I'm not saying we can't break it down into one, two, three. But let's be honest, bro. When you really know what to text a woman, when you really know, um, because you gain in real life experience, I call it RLE, real life experience, RLE. You're gaining RLE. You're gaining RLE. You just don't give a fuck no more. Like if Eminem goes into a fucking cipher and he got a freestyle, you think he gives a fuck? He don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm Eminem. I've been doing this shit. If she fuck with me, she fuck with me. If she don't, she don't. That's aura. Like I'm trying to sum aura up into a mind frame or a sentence. If she fuck with me, she fuck with me. If she don't, she don't. That's aura, right? It's more indirect. It's like, well, it's a way I think that's gonna give me the bitch. Not me trying to get her. Necessarily. It's no thought. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking vibe. And then when you understand and you can comprehend vibes because you're always in the vibe, you start to realize that she's either down or she's not. That's what you start to realize. And the more you realize whatever the fuck she is, because it can change either way. Like people say low interest, medium interest, high interest. And I believe those things to be true too, especially when you first approach a female and start texting her before the date. But once y'all go on a date, she either gonna fuck with you or she not. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. So at that point of the date, that's when you need to understand she's either gonna fuck with you or she not. And it doesn't matter because remember, women are like feminine, so they move in a circular motion, which is really psychotic anyway. But this is why you see all these YouTube channels and then da 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 your ex will come back type shit, bro. That's because women move in circuits, men move linear. So see, we take longer to get over some shit, but when we over some shit, we really don't give. Like we're we're driven by more sex and lust and the body type shit. They're driven by other shit. Like women are more jealous and envious and more like I think they're more territorial too, like low key. Like so they're driven by things that are dark. Like you feel me? So that's why a woman to be so protective over not looking crazy, but then at the end of the day still end up looking crazy. But a guy will look crazy at first, you know what I'm saying? But then later on start looking like the hero of this fucking movie or some shit. But it's like at the end of the day, bro, I'm just trying to show y'all some shit. Like you don't have to give a fuck. And I think that's a misconception. Like people like, yo, I have to give a fuck. Like I was raised to not want to have sex. I was raised that porn is bad. Every time I got caught watching porn, I got my ass whooped. Every time I had a girlfriend, everybody's being nosy in my family about this, that, and the third, right? Most people in life just want to be happy, bro. I broke it down to a science earlier. Most people just want to be happy, bro. The bad guy in the movie, the good guy in the movie, got one thing in common. They just want to be happy. When I look at what I really value in life, is literally just to be happy. Like when I moved down south, the reason why that shit was so thorough was because it was good weather. I was with the bros, and we used to do fun shit here and there, like go to the movies or do little fun shit. And then we had the free crib every day because we live on our own, so females could pull up. Da 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 da. I had a job, was making a little bit of cake, being happy. So at the end of the day, yeah, there's gonna be negatives that pop up in life, but when you really look at certain things, you're like, man, I was more happy here than I was more happy there, or here, or wherever. At what point? So you gotta learn to, and this is a fucking valuable lesson, family. Listen, you gotta learn to learn to embrace. Like right now. I got 66 subscribers on this channel. I just started posting on this channel like last week for real. That mean I'm having a quick increase, right? Quicker than my other channel. What does that mean? What does that tell me? I could sit there and be like, man, let me just live in the moment, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do because I'm a fucking man. But besides that, I'm like, this is dope. Like, this must mean this is more my calling than the other thing I was doing. What does that do? That lets me know, look, you're more happy here. You're more happy learning about what you look. When I was a kid, my favorite um, classes were science, gym, and I forgot the other one. But they all boil down to what I'm doing today, chemistry. I'm just showing y'all chemistry. That's all I'm literally doing. Health and fitness. Oh, yeah, and gym. I think I said that. Health and fitness leads to being happy. Being happy leads to sex. Most creatures on the planet come to this world, they just want to have sex. I came to that conclusion. Y'all could argue it in the comments below, but I believe that to be the literal thing that makes depression versus people just being like, okay, I'm just happy to be in the house today. I'm not depressed. I'm just happy. I'm just happen to be in the crib today. If you ain't getting no ass, I guarantee that you gonna start feeling like being in the house is like being in jail. But you got other people who just come home from work and they like, okay, I'm home from work. Let me get call up Sarah and get some ass. And then that changes and literally shifts the whole night. Like it doesn't have to be like you're on a fucking roller coaster and eating pretzels and shit. It's like you just call a female, she come over, and that shit that changes everything. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have happiness outside of women because don't misconstrue that because I preach more than anybody to have hobbies and activities and interests and events. But when you get those, you're still gonna want what? Fellas, you still gonna want what? I'm gonna let y'all fill in that blank. So I'm tired of people saying, "Oh man, like you should not really want this and you should not really want that." I mean, who the fuck is to say I shouldn't want no ass? Like who the fuck? And again, take the shame away from it, take the guilt away from it, because you grew up. Every time you got caught watching porn, it was bad because you had some parents that was under brainwashed and they thought that because you was young you shouldn't be watching this. Man, that's some bullshit. Who gives a fuck? That's like, sex is just lust. So that's like saying when I was 5 I shouldn't be eating food. I shouldn't be eating because when eating is a form of lust. You lust to go get some beef jerky. You lust to go eat this. And yeah, I'm not saying that it's not bad to eat a bunch of beef jerky, but I'm saying whatever you're not getting enough of, or if you feel like you're not getting enough of it, psychologically you're going to put it on a pedestal because you feel subconsciously like you're not getting enough of it. Instead of you just getting more of it, don't devalue this shit and lie to yourself and say, "Oh, I'm going semen retention for 5 years." Blah blah blah. Man, you full of shit. I'm telling you, because you don't even realize by doing that you're still valuing it because you're pulling away from it. It's still valuing it. Instead of doing that, what you should do is just learn how to talk to women. That's the fucking answer. That's the answer. Cause knew you could never knew how to talk to women all your life, and then how you gonna go on semen retention and you don't even know how to talk to women? I mean, it sounds good, but when you really break it down, it sounds fucking retarded. Like, comment, subscribe, man. It's your boy Game Like Will, man. See y'all in the next video, man. Let me know down below what y'all think about my perspectives on this. And like I said, you shouldn't have to make a woman feel comfortable because you shouldn't even be thinking about that. You should just be linking up with women, and that's it. Who gives a fuck if she feel comfortable? She gonna feel comfortable if she think you cute, and if you talking And if you vibing, only thing you should be worried about is what the fuck I'm gonna say next. What the fuck I'm gonna say next? What the fuck I'm gonna say next? Okay, she just said this. What the fuck am I gonna say to that? You shouldn't give a fuck about a vibe. Look, go meet a female at the beach. Your vibe gonna be A1 because the environment is gonna inherently give you good energy. So see you on the next